We are drawing some dogs manga. This is dogs number one. Love it. Absolutely love it. Dogs is a go-to example for kinetic action, like movement in space and time. I'm doing it really, really well. And gunfights. Dynamic gunfights with like superhero abilities. Super, super good. So when I'm thinking about doing Overwatch comics, super good. And our gunslinger post-apocalyptic samurai western Vengeance, which we are now tentatively renaming Deathless. The character will be Deathless. I'm not sure if we'll have the character and the story share the same name. It's kind of played out. That was like a lot of my heroes back in the day, like Inuyasha. So I'm like doing a retro throwback, but we'll see. We'll be intuitive, play it by ear, and find the best possible name. You can see I've done a couple of pages already. These opening pages are really good. Beto's getting interrogated. These guys talking to him. Hein is breaking in. He's kicking this guy in the face. Beto's like, he's got a gun in his face. And he's just like, give me a smoke. They're like, hell no. And then Hein breaks in. He kicks the door in. They've got Beto tied up there, and you see a really good spatial awareness and the placement of characters, even though at this point in the story you notice it's a bit crowded. There's like crowds of people with this background stuff, which, I mean, he's putting a lot of work into it, but later on in the series you see that a little bit less chaotic, less crowded space and composition works even better. Although I do love just like the panel layout here. Hein, as he's walking in, is just lovely. Super stylish. And we've even like changed up the angle a little bit more because I was doing a bunch of like, three-dimensional drawing from games and drawing of cubes and stuff. So it's more easy for me than it would be for Miwa. Okay, Hein's strolling in to this gangster's hideout. Vengeance. This is one of the key inspirations. I was like, if you could do dogs action with like Western, comic pacing so that you could have whole adventures without like taking like 5 years to do it. And you'd add brush effects like the Ashley Wood comics. If you just search up Ashley Wood comics, you see there's really cool brush effects, but none of this fun spatial awareness, 3D, stylish, and anime stuff that I love. So combine things together that you love in ways you may not have seen before. We'll try to just keep a brisk pace and move on through this. I've had a pretty good amount of practice over the last few days doing exactly this kind of thing and switching it up and doing different things and coming in. Loving the manga design. I've started doing many more original comics, just like little ones here and there, and scripting action. Way good. I mean, this is how you do it, and it had been a while since I, drew manga, so it's good to get your references in first, but as soon as you do, to remix them into your own things, you start to pick more things up than you would have before. You're like, oh, okay, the choice and the placement of these things is for a reason to move the story forward from a first-hand perspective. Okay. The comics I have are in Japanese, so I won't be able to read them, but that's all the better. No dog spoilers ever. Yeah, who the hell's this guy? Motherfucker! I don't know. Some street slang. All the scanlated manga I read back in the day had way harder language than they do in the official translations. I don't know if that's more accurate or less. And they were just like, we'll make it, hard and shit. Yeah, so introduction to characters. We'll see if we can go even more, I love these guys too. Just like gun crazy action boys from the streets. And the original Dogs comics was very much like a combination of, Chow Yun-Fat, Leon the Professional type, like crime movies and Final Fantasy VII and Devil May Cry and super stylish anime stuff. You'd never seen that mix of things together before. So in that way, Dogs itself became an inspiration to make something like Vengeance. Whereas like just make a melting pot of all of your favorite things and do your best. And you can use this as a way to build skills towards the ultimate stories that you want to tell. Like, if you don't know or have the skills to make whatever your dream is, make something that would be fun to do, maybe successful, and get you all the skills to be able to do that. So, pretty clever strategy. All right, page 4. I'm just keeping a nice, good pace. Just moving ahead. You can, at any point, too, just, you know, speed up or slow down if you want to pick up the details in any one shot, or to make it a little bit more of like your own thing, where the panels really become placeholders. They become placeholders for anything that you could do within the same frame. Okay, a lot of really stylish shots in this series, which is fun. Hein wears his guns behind his belt, and each of these is him drawing one of the pistols each hand. So we're not gonna like worry about the details too much. Trigger finger, 3 fingers up, handle to the gun, handle over, and we'll just imagine that one looks the same. Okay, angry gangster's face. A lot of good black and white eyeshadows and undernose shadows in here. It's like the hard black and white graphic stylish elements of Dogs. It's always awesome. Okay, gun. This guy's got his gun up and out, and the perspective on guns. Like, where's your character's head? Where's their like shoulders? Where's their knees? Where is their, like, what is their placement within the panel? And then where is their gun? And where's their gun pointed? Is like, if you hit those things super quickly, you can be like, this guy's here, his gun's pointed that way. It's whatever your action is. If it's swords, it's pretty much the same thing. Or magic, especially if it's magic and you have a well-defined magic system, then everyone's placements. Like Witch Hat is a great example of that. Okay, as he's coming in, it's nice to do a lot of anatomy and such, because you can see I'm only like vaguely glancing at this, and doing that intentionally too, so it's more of a recreation than a one-to-one. Because obviously you're not going to have any frames and guides later. So just like practice constructional anatomy and stuff, but you can always find references, but no way is your reference always going to be one-to-one. You want to be able to find a reference and then change the pose to the side, from the back, from the top, and the foundational design exercises that we do teach you exactly how to do that. Drawing boxes from every angle and switch, like find references of the back and the side, and then, you know, just play with the differences between them until you have a really good map of the 3-dimensional form in your mind. I thought we haven't actually looked at us doing that yet, and I've only done a little bit of that. If you're drawing the figure and like a dragon or a dog, dogs, dragons, the figure and heads, all sorts of cool things. All right, he's drawn down. He's got these wild ass, it's like a wallet chain thing that goes onto the bottom of his gun. No way. I mean, clearly Shiro Miwa thought those silver gothic wallet chains were as cool as I did, and this guy's is made out of unbreakable metal. Get tangled on everything. He's a super ninja. It doesn't get tangled. But the technical intricacy of defining those chains is like, goodness, Miwa. There's a lot of just skill stuff where he gets in his art zone, and his ability to capture patterns in perspective as they change and light and shadow hits them is really, really unique. Really fun. And as a huge fan of Bleach, I just love that. Okay, more stylish panels, and when action hits, the compositions often get more dynamic, which is to say less just square, you know, less right angles, more dynamism. Oh man, yeah, I'm gonna put together this comprehensive manga thing, and there's always gonna be fans of manga. I mean, but it may turn out, if you're a young storyteller doing manhwa, where it's just a film storyboard with like shot by shot by shot, and it's a scroll, and you scroll down the scroll, is more effective and popular. We'll do it though, learning one to the other. I'm sure there'll be other things you could gain. Alright, some gun crazy action. And again, there's like a few too many figures in a lot of these frames. Like, there's no reason to put like 6 guys and everything. And we see Beto jumping to safety in the middle of this crazy, yeah, skirmish. Alright, Hein's hand, which is another place where you want to look at how big is his hand and try and draw a square for that, so that as quickly as possible you could readjust the size. Or, you know, and again, I don't go for 1-to-1, but I want to make sure the whole handle of his gun's in there, or it would not be effective. I really like the Mauser pistol? Kind of German pistols with the front clip that loads in. Really cool. I always thought those are great. And then first super stylish shot of Hein dropping some lead on these dudes. Okay, so like shoulder, you can mark the elbow just a tiny bit, and hand. And then look at the size that the hand increases here. Yeah. Nice. You got the trigger finger, you know, and then the other fingers kind of wrap around. And just see that it's all in place. It's like the clip, and there's some gun explosion. I didn't even come close. I mean, it's close enough, but he's got like the whole front of the gun and the panel. And we're going to move up to digital, and when we do, you could resize. It's good practice to try though. See, I don't hit it every time. Bah. This jam. Okay, we're gonna have to do some cat care here very soon. Now, we'll get some sci-fi guns. We'll be doing all kinds of original things with our concept that takes this, and we'll try to take it even further in those ways that we will never be able to do Miwa better than Miwa, but it's like, that's why he is there, man. I'm not trying to take anyone else's job so much as try to do something awesome. It's really cool. It's kind of just like a style fest, and they add more tactical things later. There's never like that much of a situation when Hein isn't just like the god of gunslinging, and you know, I like to try and set up scenarios where it's a little bit more like, what is their abilities and threats, and they have to come up with a strategy based on their surroundings, with limited time and resources, and to like do it like a chess game or something, where this is more like a chess game of Call of Duty, and he's just better. They do have really cool fights with him and the other, superhero, Giovanni. But with both of them having healing type tech, how do you draw gun barrels, man? Like, I'll have to see someone. I mean, I guess Peter Hahn gives demonstrations of using like a felt pen to just destroy the straight and narrow lines. It's gnarly. There. This next one is him doing a 2-gun move. One of his hands is down here. He's got his other gun. And here you try and like, my position's off a little bit, so I'll try to get it better. And it can go off the page. You never go off the page. It's been a long time since I've heard this. Oh man, all the early Kendrick was just so my jam. Obviously, he's still got mad skills. All Kendrick is my jam, but the early stuff is just very nostalgic for me. Okay, try to move quick. Shoulder, head, eyes. So you see he's like sizing things out. Even if you're not tactically kind of scripting a fight, you do want to be giving visual indications of like points of focus and skills and stuff. Like just seeing him glance to the side while he's, targeting both things, you're like, all right, this dude's got some gun skills. It's not as though, he just wins by default. But they give visual representation of him being the best gunslinger ever. Not like... I appreciate that, Yeah. And these are like all build up, these shots. Like his gun, he raises the other gun up. Okay, I'm gonna try to do some original comics. We won't spend all day here. It's him from the back, low angle shot. I push perspective a little bit more than Dogs does. The anime has a very weird perspective thing, where it's like things will get smaller, but not. They'll be like the same length, but they'll get smaller, or vice versa. I'll just show you an example. Look at the Dan to Dan cover image on Netflix, for one. And you notice his hand gets like half as small, but his arm is definitely not half as long. And if your arm is going to be half as small, it always correlates like that. There's never a point that length and size aren't exactly the same, affected by perspective. Okay, doing some cool Miwa things. We have a, muzzle flash, and you have 4 separate instances of muzzle flash. Obviously, you could never photograph that. But you're getting the speed this guy is pulling the trigger and aiming at all of his targets. And you see like a whole bunch of guys being gunned down all at once. I'm like, yeah, you're giving your character some skills like that, but in our story, there are mechas, there are cyborgs, there's really crazy superheroes that she has to fight as well. So it's not thugs, and before like any time at all, it's like the Stakes are raised mighty high. Oh! He decimated him. Let's see. Even this shot, there's some, you know, low-key gangster here, gang leader. It's like his hand and gun. And he's clearly not as confident or aiming as well. Yeah, look at this guy. Ooh, what a great mix we've got going tonight. This is the manga mix. Kendrick and Midnight Rendezvous. Great shot. Yeah, no, you can see they're totally overwhelmed and overpowered. But even just as a fan of the action and manga, you know? Action and manga, like Naruto, D. Gray Man. Seeing this stuff was like, whoa. I like gunfights a lot. Never seen him do it like this. And then obviously the story of dogs is kind of niche. I was like, oh yeah, not that many people are such a hyper fan of Final Fantasy VII and Devil May Cry and whatnot. But I'm like, all of the stylish action techniques you could totally use to tell like any kind of story. Like how many cool stories have gunfights in them? A lot. So many. We'd be giving an example of taking certain stylistic elements and putting them together with other elements and bring them into your own work to kind of break them down into pieces and make them a part of your design, and then to, you know, come up with cool compositions. Dream bold, dream free. Okay, this guy's having a ball. Get Beto back here, made it to safety. You see him running around throughout that gunfight. Very good team. Always leathery types of jackets. Just the way you can shade leather in manga. Love it. Remember Katsura Hoshino, the mangaka of D. Greymon. Okay, his head is on the floor and his back is going up. He's still tied to the chair. His hands are behind him, so that's like shoulder to elbow. His other arm is going behind him. Right? Like, and he's on the floor like that. His other leg's coming down like there. Way good. As long as you've mapped it too. Like, it took me forever to get how to do that map thing. Like, just what was the most important thing to, like, okay, look at the panel, look at the key points. Look at the panel, look at the key points. Until you can do, okay, you've got an idea of what you need to map before nothing will get left out of frame, or you'll capture all the detail points that are going to be important to the shot, which is why I try and give demonstration for all the artists out there. You might be like wondering, again, trying to make the arts tutorials that I wish that I had all the time. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. And just like the it's like, okay, there's a lot of this guy shooting these guys, but they are falling, and it's like, okay, each panel, their force is diminished, and they never use the same angles twice. Good things to keep in mind. Oh, yeah, look at that, look at that. Sometimes you want to try and see how quick you can do a panel if you got everything going on. Yeah? Even though that's one of the more complicated panels, we did it almost instantly. Okay, we are going to skip Adult Girl. It's a good song. Just like, not exactly, you know, gunfight music. Aerith theme lo-fi, now that is a gunslinging banger, if I have ever heard one. I don't know, maybe someone wants to listen to Adult Girl. I can't not listen to Marina. Okay, on here, shooting, and there's someone taking cover, and part of the cover is being blown away. So their arm that way. Bah. And then this guy hiding. Okay, he's gonna pop out. He's gonna get him. It's here. Hand there, but the wrist is a point of articulation, is always something you gotta remember. So even though his arm's facing almost forward, the gun is like sideways. So you're slinging a gun up. And, oh man, Hein gets him with the wallet chain. Okay. And then this guy's Marina, the best adult girl. Okay. It's hit in the neck, choked with the chain. And yeah, it's getting choked out. Ridiculous. That would never be an effective strategy, I don't think. Keep an extra chain on my gun just in case I ever have to choke anyone. Beautiful song, isn't it? God damn. Yeah, it's good to be vulnerable at times, especially if you ever want to be invulnerable at others. You definitely have to have an expression of vulnerability. Yeah. Okay, wrap around. What do we got? We're making pretty good time. And it's like him from a low angle shot. His legs out. Do a little shadow underleg just so you make sure that it's like, oh yeah, it's It's from the bottom. Shadow. And he's, you know, leveraging the chain with his gun-slinging hands. But they've also got a really good, like, momentum of his body. You can see he's actually pulling it, you know? So even when you're doing ridiculous type maneuvers, you know, still give it your best. Go all out. Yeah, you can tell a lot of manga guys learn how to draw a lot by drawing manga that other mangaka have drawn. And if they had a foundational design course, it would be easier. So you can see how much talent and skill they've got. But like a good drawing objects in boxes thing, be unbeatable. And also save time. It'd be so awesome to see things do. Give a manga and comic design course. Shing. It's wrapped around his belt? Like, no way is that not just gonna trip him up. Okay, awesome. Oh wait, no. He can grab someone with the chain so that he can use them as a body shield. There we go. That's some thinking. Let's see here. Oh no, look at this. I've been doing low light art this whole time. It's horrible. I mean, no lie, I always am. And a low quality camera. But, imagine if we change that. That'd be awesome. Heck yeah. Nah, I just want to be able to contribute in some way. Have some way to make money doing what you love. And, you know, being an example of that. And helping other people too. Make money doing what they love while they hone their craft. That would be so cool. That's what I want, man. And to bring dreams to life. Make cool things I wish existed. He's too powerful! But what are they gonna do? It's escalated into a gunfight. They can't really escape. Still probably worth a shot. Okay, more just manga acrobatics up in here. Okay, so shape of the head and then line of the eye and then shoulders is a good one. I'm pretty sure we'd have to go smaller. See what I'm saying? It saves you so much time. Yeah, our panel's not nearly as big. They're both square shaped though, so it does work. Bam, bam. 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 Okay. It's like one of his hands. It's right off panel. Goes back in. This is the guy he's using as a body shield's head. This hand gets way big. And his gun here, it's like, right? That's the gun, hand, back to shoulder, and head. Super good. Other shoulder, going out to other gun. And this guy's arm around his shoulder or something. Cool. the gun from the top where the bullets are ejected, with one of the bullets all super big and the smoke from the bullet curving down into the the ejector of the gun. It's nice. Ear. So like nose, bottom of the nose, and look at what is the relation of the ear to the nose. And the profile view is a really tricky one to map. Don't worry if you take a while to get that down. Yeah, no, this kind of stuff with Overwatch, wouldn't that be cool? Because you can see not only are they doing cool gunplay, but they're doing movement stuff and people getting cover and jumping out of cover. Like, it's clearly not just people like shooting and hitting and missing and whatnot, but the tactical awareness and whatnot, and that is what would make an Overwatch comics really plus ultra. Super plus ultra. Yeah, no, and I mean, you just have to learn how to do it like this, and then learn how to do Overwatch from all the different angles, and simplify them, and, you know, have a good art style, and then just compose good scenes. But, I mean, you could compose scenes entirely out of game moments from the game. If you're like, okay, those guys ambush, those guys are good for like backing up and saving you at times. Like, it felt good when that happened. It doesn't have to be like they're fighting other Overwatch people, but just doing Overwatch action moves while they're fighting Talon, while they're fighting Omnix, you know? So that it reads as Overwatch, and Overwatch fans are like, oh hell yeah, if you thought something in the game felt awesome or was cool, chances are they did too. Yeah, these guys are finally like, okay, we just gotta run. I mean, there was like a whole bunch of them. I mean, at least like 10 or something. And there's a stairway behind them. And the stairway reads the perspective because it's got a railing. And whenever you see two parallel things that are, you know, they're the same shape, but, you know, because they're getting closer, they expand, you know? Yeah, so we might try to do some Overwatch comics. That might be a way that we could get some funding out of Overwatch appreciation, reach out to other storytelling people, try to just be cool about it, you know? And have it a shared mutual appreciation, or maybe something I could do for them without maybe getting entirely locked into something that I like. It'd be cool to just do something that I could skill build for. It's like to have a job for months would be fucking awesome. But I want to use my time as effectively as possible and have the best job. Obviously, you want that. That'd be sick. If I could maybe get someone that just sees the value in the work, then I could, you know, do the comic that I'm already planning, and I could surely pay them back. I could pay them back with interest. Good interest, or like someone is within potential to be a part of the company or to invest in it. Like, I can't understate how good of an investment I think that is, and I feel like we've demonstrated that enough as well. All right, we'll zoom out a little bit. Whole bunch of fun gunplay from breaking into the room. Very, very stylish intro. You can see they're doing so many high style things while at the same time in these 8 pages doing the entire gunfight here with like the kind of comical like Beto's like running and escaping, all of these things, which still shows that he's got good ninja mastery, you know? He looks like frightened and whatnot, but he dodges every single bullet and like rolls across the floor while Hein's going in. There's a reason they're partners. He captures a different kind of action hero that I also like. One who's like, ah, and running gun, but, you know, still kills shit. Just doing a couple of these shapes to capture clothing fabric lines. Bam, 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 bam. Now you got like some cool clothes going on. Under a minute. Like 20 seconds. Trying to find ways to do speed art is something that I do, because illustrators and designers work with all these amazingly cool techniques, but if you're ever to do comics, most of those techniques and designs become inapplicable unless you find a way to draw them really quickly. So anytime I'm trying to learn a thing, it's like then, you know, just look at video game speedrunners. Like once you do the thing effectively, then you can learn how to do it really effectively and really, really effectively. Or like a martial artist. And I might not sound like a martial artist or a speedrunner when I say that, but I've gotten pretty quick at sketching. It's nice. And again, these are a little bit dense. Alright, this is making me super happy. And I got Vagabond, Naruto, Witch Hat. We've got a number of different of the coolest manga series. And just started with an example of how you gain the skills, and anyone could take it on and go further than I have. And you can make, I mean, just look at the Kickstarter successful comic series. And if you're an artist or a designer and you're like, oh shit, the techniques that I've got, you could have a cooler art style than every single one of them. By a margin of 5 or 15. My God, if you're doing manga action and Ashley Wood brush effects, I mean, I'm just saying I looked at that stuff for about a year and no one was even trying. I'm kidding. I'm not trying to step on toes so much as just affirm that I think this is a completely winning strategy and would look amazing and save time and capture the spirit and the, you know, energy. It's like wanting to do this out of love and wanting to see this. Yeah, become cross skill set and get good at learning different techniques from different areas of mastery and putting them together yourself. Because a lot of folks are like, well, I just took the one course or something. So it's like, just look at what they're doing and figure out how to do it and add it to what you've got, man. You'd have it. People are goddamn clever. I'd like to try and give an example of that. Because I'm a huge fan of comics and games and gunfights and action and everything. Design, like, I want to read your comics. You know? Like, there's Richard Branson that said that, you know, he's motivated to make businesses by seeing something that he wanted to see in the world that wasn't there yet. Like, if that thing already existed, like, I don't know, keep moving and find a place with one of those things that you can imagine that does not exist yet. Okay. Oh, this is good fun. This is very, very fun. We'll go in and do some original comics and stuff. Let's see. If you hung out this long, we'll... a bunch of other dogs comics. First scene up top wasn't that exciting, but you see this dude. He's got guns pointed at his head from every angle, and a bunch of different shots while they're talking, and then he like cuts everyone down instantly because he's the blade master of knives. and they're all like dying in different ways, different death poses, good demonstrations of the character's abilities. We're gonna do that, but in a tactical way, so it makes sense. And then Some of Heinz Past. It's like these kids fighting these crazy dog monsters. Yeah, the kid v dog thing there, look at that. It's crazy. Stylish. And like jumps in, the shot where he avoids the attack by like just a hair. Takes off some of his hairs. Jumps in, bites the dog monster's neck. Neck rip. Death. And you see just like the kid who's all PTSD and like hiding in the corner while all this monster fighting is happening. And they made them the ultimate weapons. But if you want to do stuff, don't just draw manga, also draw some three-dimensional forms. Check out Metal Gear Solid 4. Raiden jumping around. It's drawn from reference with Metal Gear Solid 4. Raiden be the geckos. But then, before long, I start just changing the camera angles. Because you'll have a pose, and then once you've drawn them from a whole bunch of different poses, start trying to change them. And try to capture the action instead of just the still frame. If you're like, okay, that's him, but he just jumped, draw action lines and see if you can capture it. Bring it to life. Got a bunch more. Raiden. Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 4 is one of my all-time favorite character designs ever. Also, his introduction and the way he kills all these things. You have to dodge those robot things for so long. He comes in and kills like 10 of them. What a homie. Love it. Alright. Hell yeah. Super good. Taking on manga and design, making it really good. We're going to do some original comics and pitch for funding. And collaboration, building his cool studio. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be so good.